Sway versus pivot. What's the difference? A lot of you are asking that question, and today I'm going to show you the big difference between swaying off the golf ball and having a proper pivot. I'm PGA teaching professional Todd Kolb, Director of Instruction for US Golf TV and the Sanford Power Golf Academy. And a lot of the videos that I do, some of you out there are saying, hey Todd, that looks like a sway. Well, I'm here to show you the difference between swaying and actually pivoting. So let's dive right into it, because if you can pivot correctly, it's going to improve your contact, you're going to hit the golf ball further, and you're definitely going to be more consistent. So let's dive right into this. So first thing we're going to do here is I'm going to show you the difference between the two, and then I'm going to give you a drill to do what you should be doing. All right, that's what we're going to talk about. So I've got my live view right here in front of me, and anytime I'm working on the pivot, okay, slide, sway, pivot, whatever you want to call it, I like to have my live view because it's really good. It's instant feedback. So I got it set up here, and you'll notice that when I've got in here, I got these two lines, one off my lead hip and one off my trail hip. And if you've watched any of my videos before, I really like working on the hips, the pivots, okay, because that's quite honestly where a lot of the secret lies. So we're set in here. All right, here we go. We got two red lines, lead hip, trail hip. Now, a sway or a slide is this. It's when you pivot and move towards the right foot, the trail foot, okay, and then you start to turn. But notice where I've moved relative to that original red line. So let me go back here and show you again. See the red line, okay? This is a sway or a slide, whatever you want to call it. This is a bump and a turn, okay? There's a distinct difference between the two. So when I'm doing videos, and I tell you you got to shift your weight, front side to trail side, you can do that, okay, without swaying. So let me get set in here again. Let me show you what I mean by that. So I'm set in here. I can bump the hip a little bit and then pivot. Okay, so notice when I get to the top, that red line is still on the inside of my lead hip. This is a sway or a slide, okay, because you want to move your pressure from front to trail foot because it's what gives you distance. So let me hit a shot, then we're going to walk through some more details. So I'm going to hit the first one on what I would consider a sway or a slide. Okay, and here's what you watch my hip movement. Okay, now that, I mean, it was okay. It was definitely on the toe, but didn't have much compression at all. Now let me hit one the way I want you to do it, and I'm going to show you a couple ways you can feel it and some drills. Okay, so here we go, same setup. Got them off my hips there, here we go. I'm going to bump, and now I'm going to pivot. Okay, that was definitely more compression at the bottom, lower trajectory, and even though I'm hitting to a net, I know that one went a little bit further. So, how can you feel this? Well, here's the first thing. I want you to be aware of when you move your weight, your pressure, from front foot to trail foot, where on the trail foot it lands or ends up. Let me show you. Here we go. So I'm set in here. Now, if I move my weight from my lead foot to my trail foot, okay, and I let that weight go to the outside of my foot, so from face on here, I'm lead side heavy, 60-40, because if you watch any of my videos, I love the 60-40, okay, here. And if I let that weight, that pressure go to the outside of my foot, that's a sway. That's a sway or that's a slide. So from face on, I'm here, okay, move this way. If that weight moves to the outside of my foot, that is definitely a sway or slide. You have no power at all. You want that weight, that pressure, to be on the inside of the foot. Okay, so let me go ahead and do it again here. I'm going to show you a drill to feel that. Okay, here we go. Set up, take it to the top, boom, right there. Now I can feel weight on my right foot, but it's on the inside of my heel. Okay, excuse me, inside of my foot, kind of towards my heel. And from that position, I can fire those hips forward, rotate and extend, and get a lot of distance. So that would be the feel. Now, what would be a drill you could do for that? Well, you could do a couple things. Number one, it's one of my favorites, okay, is trail side pivot. Now, if you haven't already, you should subscribe to our channel, because what I'm talking about next year right now, we've done a couple videos on this, so be sure to subscribe, ring the bell, and actually if you want some really unique content, check out our website at usgolftv.com. Now, here we go. Set in here. Here's what you're going to do. Here's your little drill. You're going to take your trail foot, your right foot, for a right-handed golfer, and we swing it back, you're just going to step back a little bit. Now, as I do that, what you'll notice, looking at live view here, you'll see your upper body stays pretty centered. Okay? So what I'm doing here is I'm feeling how my hips can turn without sliding. Let me do it from face on. This is gold right here, okay? This is gold. You're set in here, okay? Little pivot this way. See that? See how my hips turned? Okay, that is the opposite of this. So you got to feel that. So I always do a 3-setter. This is a tip I picked up from my good friend Jonathan Moore. This guy's a smart guy. All right, if you've never heard of him, you should check it out. He's got some really great videos. He's a great player, and he's a smart coach. So I would do a 3-setter. Here we go. There's little 1. Little 2, little 3, just little taps. Good. Now I got the feel. I know how my body's working. I'm going to just hit a shot. Okay, that felt good. A little bit on the toe, maybe tab behind it, but you get the idea. Now, what would be another one that we could do? Well, a couple different things that we could do. Sometimes what we'll do is we'll just do little step back. So we're here, I'll put my feet together and I'll just step to the right and turn. Boom, this is another good one. Because you're not going to naturally step to the right and let your weight go to the outside of your foot because you feel like instinctively you would feel like you're going to fall over. So when you step, you're just going to feel like you're stepping on the inside of that foot. So once again, do a little 3-setter. Feet together. Here we go. Boom. There's 1. There's 2. Notice how the hips are moving. You can see it in the live view there. Okay, now I got the feel. Now I'm going to go ahead and repeat that motion. So slide and sway versus pivot. If you pivot, you're going to improve your consistency, you're going to improve your contact, and you're definitely going to get more distance. These tips that I shared with you today are going to help you do exactly that.